What's going on, everyone? It's time for another Christmas film review. Today we're going to talk about a Christmassy family horror creature feature type film. Today we're going to talk about the iconic Gremlins. It's released by Warner Brothers Pictures June 8th, 1984. It's written by Chris Columbus, produced by Michael Fennell and Steven Spielberg, and directed by Joe Dante, who actually would go on to do Gremlins 2, the new batch. But then he also did films like The Howling, Inner Space, Piranha, and a whole pile of other films as well. The Burps, Matinee, a lot of good stuff. I've covered a couple of his films on this channel at least. It's had a box office earnings of over $212.9 million. Had a budget around 19, so it was a huge success when it came out. And it's a Christmas movie, but it came out in June. But yeah. Anyways, so if you're not familiar with Gremlins is basically a fun little family horror creature feature type film. Basically, an inventor is looking for a last minute Christmas gift for his son. So he goes to this obscure antique shop in Chinatown. He finds this little critter called Gizmo. And so he buys it off of the guy. And he was told a couple basic rules. Don't feed it after midnight. Don't get it wet. Keep it out of sunlight because he'll kill it. And yeah, so he gets it and gives it to his son for Christmas. And then he treats it like a pet. So yeah, so they go about their days, and sure enough, he accidentally gets Gizmo wet, and he stirs a couple more smaller gremlins out of it. And then, yeah, so, but as it goes, and then he ends up feeding them shortly after midnight because he forgets to change his clock, and, yeah, they turn into these hideous, evil gremlins, not these cuddly things anymore. And they go multiply real quick and go on a rampage through to the town. This is just a fun little creature feature, and it's spawned so many rip-offs and stuff like that, because if it wasn't for this movie, we wouldn't have like Critters or Hobgoblins and all those silly other little creatures films and stuff. And yeah, so but overall, the whole film, the story is actually really fun and amusing. There is some good dark moments in there. There's a little bit for everyone. And the special effects and stuff are top notch. Absolutely really well put together. Animatronics and all that and everything. The acting is really good too. And cinematography is really well done in that. It takes a little bit for it to get going, but once it gets going, you get to see a lot of good gremlins and destruction of the town. I kind of wanted to see more of like gremlins destroying the house bit, but other than that, this film is really good. I actually really enjoy this movie. I watch this movie quite often, and yeah, I think it's a really good movie. So, Gremlins, there's not much really bad to it. It's just a fun film, especially around the Christmas holiday, since it takes place during Christmas. So, yeah, I'm going to give Gremlins a 4.5 out of 5. I kind of wanted to see a little more gremlin destruction, but they give you quite a bit anyway, so that's just a personal preference anyways. So, but yeah, Gremlins, really good movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. For some reason, you can find it pretty much anywhere, I think. So I know it's on Prime right now and stuff. So definitely check it out if you haven't seen it. I'll link a trailer down below if it sounds like something you're interested in, or if you want to relive it, that's down below. And also make sure you check out my Instagram without always linked down below. That's where I post clips of films I'm going to review. In the future, on my stories, you have the film title and hashtag, and subgenre of film and a hashtag, so you're aware of it. And also, make sure you check out my Letterbox at Dairy P Reviews. That's where I post my first star rating right after watching the films. And so you stay in, and follow. Make sure you follow me on one of those two platforms. Stay in with this channel, like this video, share it so more people are aware of it. Comment your opinions of the film down below. And yeah, if you have any other films or film franchises in any genre you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. And make sure you subscribe, because hopefully we'll find something weird, obscure, and odd that you probably never thought of checking out together. And also, so you hear my opinions on popular films, somewhat like this, classic films, and reviews on other things as well. And don't forget to ring that bell because, well, obviously I'm going to talk about the sequel in the next one, so review. So make sure you tune in for that, and yeah, watch out for all those crazy gremlins causing destruction around the holidays. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next review. So until then, cheers.